Un paraíso vegetal lo enmarca todo. Frutas maduras parecen adornos de oro.
Okay, these guys are ready to go into the oven just to stay warm. We put it at 170 degrees just to keep it warm until we're ready to eat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
While we're waiting for the arepas to cook, I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a background on where, like, kind of what arepas are used for in Venezuela and how people use them and what they eat them with and things like that. Actually, the arepa is part of the Venezuelan national meal, and it's called pabellón. And it actually has, so it's arepa, and you open it up and you stuff it with what's called carne mechada. Carne mechada is basically flank steak that you boil and you cook for a really long time, and then you hand shred it by hand. And actually, a lot of people usually get together and they drink rum and shred it by hand. It's absolutely delicious. And fun to do, and maybe you taste a little bite of the carne mechada, but then you take the carne mechada and you put it in a pot. You put lots of like different spices, different ketchup, which sounds really weird, but ketchup is actually a huge bit of that, and you boil that and you cook it, and it makes into this like amazing, like just so soft, so tender, just amazing meat. And in Cuba they actually call it ropa vieja, and but in Venezuela it's carne mechada. And then you have a white rice that you serve that with, and some black beans. And the black beans are cooked in a really, really delicious, amazing way. If any of you have ever had my mom's black beans, or other people have had the Venezuelan black beans, use papelón, which is like a refined brown sugar, and it's actually like condensed brown sugar or whatever, and so delicious, absolutely amazing. So you basically have the combination of all those things, and the piece de resistance is having plátanos. And so you take plátanos, plantains, and you basically cut them in half and cut them into small little pieces, and you fry them. And they come out super sweet, super delicious. They're caramelized with the sugars, and you have that on the plate. And that is pabellón, which is absolutely amazing to have. But you can also have arepas on, like they have people on the street that are just making, they're called areperos, areperas, and they have like, it's like a little stand, and they have
It's
arepas,
street meat.
and they have little stands, and they have like different things that they put things, like they'll put salchichas, which are hot dogs, that's covered in mayonnaise, and you stuff that in there. It's kind of like a falafel or like a pita type of style of thing. Absolutely fantastic. And then people also have arepas for breakfast. It's really good with like scrambled eggs, throw some cheese in there, throw some ham, cut that open. It's basically like a bread, a bread substitute or type of bread. And it's absolutely fantastic. You can also bake them, which is really, really good way of doing arepas. Really healthy and much better for you than frying them like we're doing. But who we're kidding, fried tastes absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Okay, so we've been cooking pulled pork all day long in our crock pot. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what we did and how long it's been cooking, but we added in there some barbecue sauce, some tomatoes. These are actually from pork chops that were in our freezer that we just brought in and decided to just cook in our crock pot. But we added to some chicken broth, some garlic, salt, paprika, cumin. I added a little chili powder, and the biggest thing is we added some barbecue sauce. You can add any barbecue sauce that you want. Anything really works, but throughout the day we just make sure that the water level is good, the moisture level is good, and it turned out perfect and ready to eat inside your arepa. Oops, you caught me. More rum. Okay, so I'm gonna make my famous coleslaw that people really want to know the recipe to. They always ask me how I do it. I'm gonna give it to you really plain and simple. If you look down here, I've done a rough chop on some regular cabbage. Sometimes I use red cabbage a little bit, but the ratio is usually 3-to-1. The red cabbage is just like a third. So I'm gonna add in my cabbage. I have grated my carrots. So if you use your grater and just grate out your carrots, I don't even take the skin off. Don't tell Dave. He hates that. And I've also chopped up some Granny Smith green apples. This is the stuff right here that people wonder about my coleslaw. And then I have a really nice fine chopped cilantro that I add in there. There's really nothing else other than I grind in a little bit of pepper. I grind in a little bit of salt. And I unashamedly use myself some Kraft coleslaw dressing. So what I like to do is just kind of eyeball it a little bit and just pour some in there. Just pour a little bit in, give it a toss, and see how it looks. It's gonna, you can look and see what your consistency of dressing is. Everybody's different. Some people like a little bit, some people like a lot. I like mine a little bit on the drier side. That apple and those carrots are really gonna bring out a nice flavor, and you don't need a whole lot of that dressing. And you give it a toss, and that is what all the hubbub is all about. This coleslaw. This is gonna go great with our arepas.
All right, so these arepas are looking absolutely amazing. They're like really good. It's actually kind of like, you know, Bobby Flay always talks about how the second batch of pancakes or whatever always comes out really good. Yeah, these arepas are looking way, way good. The other ones are gonna taste just as great. These have a little bit more coloring and everything like that. And also, by the time your bottle of rum is done, you know your arepas are all done. So we're all set. Hi everybody. All right, so just my last little sip of rum here. Okay, so now that everything is done, I'm just gonna show you guys really quickly how we assemble these, how we cut into the arepa, and there's kind of different techniques, different styles. This is the way that I like it. You can do it a different way if you like it. But it's kind of like a pita kind of concept and everything. So I basically have it in the paper towel. Wait till these are cool. Because if you don't, you'll burn your fingers. So basically what I do is, like, it's really nice to have a sharp knife or some type of sharp knife. And what you do is you just kind of go right in the middle and you just kind of start going around the edges. And you just kind of go all the way around. This is actually pretty hot. It's kind of steam coming out of it right now. Woo! You can do it with the paper towel wrapped around it. It's kind of nicer that way sometimes. And then you kind of just open it up. And so inside right now, what we have is we have this stuff in here. It's called masa. And so some people like to take this masa actually out. That way it gives you more capacity to stuff things in there. And that's actually the way I like it. Some people also like to take a little bit of butter and they'll put some butter in here or something like that. But I take the masa out. If you're really hungry, you can eat it later. You can do something with it. Actually, in the morning time, if you make this arepa in the morning, if you take the masa out, that little white kind of fluffy ball right there, or that kind of like slice, and you dip that in your café con leche, which is just basically a latte, that's just the way we call it, it actually is absolutely amazing. It has a little bit of sugar in the coffee, it's even better. But so that's how we do that. So now what I'm gonna do, so you can pretty much stuff anything you want in here, but our meal tonight, we made this delicious kind of barbecue pulled pork. And we have this amazing coleslaw dressing, salad that Christy made. Actually, Christy made, this is her specialty, and I just made the vessel that's gonna go into. So I'm gonna take some of this pulled pork, take a little bit from that. I'm gonna throw it right in there, like so. And then let's close that guy back up. Take a little bit of this coleslaw dressing, not coleslaw dressing, but coleslaw salad, I should call it. And just kind of plop it all on there. It's a little messy, it's all right. It actually ends up all over the plate, and you just can actually sop it up with the masa if you want. Just close up that arepa. And I'm not gonna do the cut in the middle because I'm actually gonna take a bite and make a big old mess. Let's just move all this stuff off to the side. All right, here we go. See how much of this falls out. So there you can take it, and you have it right here. Oh, don't wanna drip on the floor. Cash will take care of that. So here we go. All right, I'm done. No more video. I gotta eat.